There are many moments in cartoons that have stuck with me as I grew over the years, from climactic finales to funny jokes and even sad moments between the characters, but none quite as unforgettable as the songs in the show. I'm your animated cartoon and animation fanatic channel hopper, and today's video will be a countdown of songs I consider to be the most memorable in my mind, with the only conditions being one song per series and excluding the intro and outros as they're not technically in the show to begin with. Now, these are my personal choices, and I might not mention everyone's favorite song, so be sure to list some of yours in the comments below. With all that out of the way, let's get started with number 10.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
Littlest Pet Shop is known for a variety of songs similar to that of Friendship is Magic, so you can bet it was hard to choose a favorite, but as for the one that I'll always remember from the series, the song It Won't Be Long is a perfect choice to start off the video. The song focuses on the pets coming to terms with the departure of their new friend and decide to put on one last performance for her to showcase how much she means to them. The song mentions that even though they know it's not forever, they'll still miss their friend, as it's not so much as a goodbye but just until we meet again, meaning that friendships, no matter how far apart it may seem, can last forever. This was truly the first song in the series that highlighted the growth of these characters and opened the door for more opportunities for them to take advantage of later on in the show. The only downside I had for this choice was that it was a short song with a duration of only 1 minute. While it may be short, the heartfelt message combined with the soothing instrumentals is enough to earn it a spot on this countdown. With that said, next up is number 9.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
Animaniacs was definitely a show ahead of its times when it came to the humor and musical sequences. The most memorable of the songs being Yakko's World, sung by the voice actor of Yakko Warner, Rob Paulsen. The song is definitely one of the major highlights of the series and is probably the first one that comes to mind as just the mere mention of the show. The segment itself is pretty simple, as Yakko Warner stands in front of a map of the nations and sings their respective names to a catchy rhythm.
Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Finland and Germany now one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece.
Where was this song when I was in high school geography? It sounds simple enough, but the execution of the song is anything but, as the musical arrangement of the lyrics into a well-known melody is a challenging feat in and of itself. And if you think that's impressive, Rob Paulsen mentioned in an interview that the song was recorded in one take. In fact, to this day, he's pretty much the only guy who can sing the song as well as an updated version of the song without stumbling on the words. The melody will forever be stuck in everyone's head for years to come, and while the song may suffer from some imperfections as well as some partially correct geography, the song not only showcases the amount of effort that went into the musical department of the series, but also highlights the imaginative and zany nature of the show as a whole, though I'm still waiting to see Yakko sing all the numbers above 0. I mean, I may be dead, but not even I have eternity or the patience to sing through all of that. It's a fun song to sing along to, and one that I hope a lot of geography classes will utilize in the future. Next up is a song I'm sure you'll all remember.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
This was a difficult choice as there were actually 2 songs competing for the number 8 spot, those being Remember, sung by Ember McLean, and The Ballad of Star Butterfly, sung by Rubariot. But ultimately, Ember's song got the spot. Now, don't get me wrong, I love The Ballad of Star Butterfly, as both songs present unique stories by either focusing on the singer themselves or the other characters that play a major role in the song. That's the power of ballad songs, as they're capable of conveying both tragic and heroic stories with the atmosphere of the music and the clarity of the story through the lyrics as it gets more intense as the song continues. Upon first listening to Ember's song, you'd think it's just a harmless love ballad, but then you start to pay attention to the lyrics and now start to understand the true meaning behind them. I mean, she's a blue-haired fiery ghost after all, who sings about being stood up despite surrendering her love for an individual and left in despair. The effects this had on her can only be interpreted through the depressing lyrics of Dead Trees in December and Nothing But Ashes Remaining. From what we can infer from these lyrics, Amber seems to have been stood up by someone in the month of September. Said individual did not reciprocate her love for him, which led Amber into a cold depression, and judging by her blue-flamed hair, she seems to have died in a fire which may or may not have been caused by her. With lyrics like this, you can't help but ask yourself if this is still a kid's show, as they seem to be about taking revenge after being forgotten.
Your life goes on without me. My life a losing game. You're lost, now bear the shame. Like dead trees in cold December, nothing but ashes remain.
The lyrics were powerful, and the music that accompanied them created the perfect gloomy atmosphere to convey the narrative that's both poetic and well performed. As for the series as a whole, the song manages to show that despite the evil side of the ghost world, there's a hint of tragedy for the specters that inhabit it. As for the song, while I love ballads as much as the next undead guy, I occasionally need something a little more cheerful to feel alive again, which brings us to number 7.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
When I first started writing this countdown, I told myself Love Makes the World Go Round has to be on this list because it is the definition of catchy, as the lyrics are easily remembered, the tune can be recognized almost instantly, and the song is easily synonymous with the series itself. Performed by the Powerpuff Girls, the song utilizes the amazing harmonizing talents of Tara Strong, E.G. Daily, and Kathy Cappadini to a phenomenal level, as the song not only brings out the colors of the girls, but the entire city as well. The song is about everyday things that bring joy into their lives, from dogs, cats, birds, and dandelions. The song encapsulates the pure innocence of love and harmony in the world, and even changes the bleak and monochromatic Mr. Mime back into the multicolored Rainbow the Clown. Though this doesn't relinquish him of responsibility for his actions, as he did step into the street which caused the accident in the first place, the lyrics are simplistic and innocent throughout the song, and the animation is well done considering the technical limitations at the time, utilizing green screen compositing as well as multiple angle shots for zoom outs. With a song this sweet, it's only fitting that the next song would be about personal hygiene.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
Shiny Teeth and Me is one of the more memorable songs to come out of the show Fairly OddParents, and while the show hasn't aged well along with its creator for a number of reasons I won't get into, I'm glad this song is still considered by many fans to be one of the best things to come out of the series. The song does a great job in showcasing Chip Skylark's perspective of the loneliness and everyday struggles of stardom, with the only thing bringing him joy are his teeth and the smiles they create. Like most memorable songs, in order to be catchy, it needs that special hook that gets the attention of the listeners. For this song, it's the lyrics shiny teeth followed by the glittering effects they produce, similar to the stars above to the glimmer of a Christmas tree. The musical sequence, while simple in design, is pretty fast-paced and cartoony for the most part, which highlights the whimsical and childlike nature of the show as a whole. I'll be the first to say that I've never been a fan of boy bands in the past, but after seeing Chris Kirkpatrick's performance as Chip Skylark, I'm willing to give credit where credit is due. This song is easy to remember and will definitely have you humming it in the morning.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
For those of you that don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of country or western music, but after listening to The Simple Things, I found a new appreciation for the genre. The song has a wonderful country melody showcasing the simple and comforting side of living a simple life with only the essential things needed to keep one happy. The lyrics effortlessly get the message across throughout the sequence of Mr. Wynn's performance on the radio, and showcases the neighborhood fully embracing the country aesthetic nature of the song in their day-to-day lives. It's a song that can speak to everyone's nostalgia of a more simple time in their life, and ties into the show's narrative of Arnold, his friends, and neighbors going through all the everyday struggles of an urban life and continue living the life they were given. Mr. Wynn has had a rough life and many struggles in order to get where he is today, but all this makes him appreciate what he has versus what he doesn't have, and enjoys whatever life gives him. Not everyone wants to buy expensive and flashy things or deal with the fame and recognition that comes with stardom, so with that said, Mr. Win puts on one last performance of his song and heads back to his simple life where he has everything he could want. The message of the song is inspiring, and it's clear to see why all the riches and fame in the world can't compare to the simple things in life. That's a pretty strong message, but what's even stronger than that is number 4 on the list.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
This was a tough spot to fill, as Steven Universe is a series jam-packed with a colorful soundtrack with catchy lyrics and strong messages. Either one of the songs in the show could have made it on the list, but I had to choose the triumphant ballad that is Stronger Than You, sung by Garnet. This song conveys the emotional bonding that comes with the fusion between two characters into a new entity and resonates with Garnet's character as a whole. The song highlights the power of love between Ruby and Sapphire being capable of overcoming even the toughest of obstacles, as strength alone isn't enough to beat a foe like Jasper, who completely trampled the crystal gems in their first fight together. However, in their second battle, Garnet manages to come out on top, not just by the fury and power of Ruby or the patience and level-headedness of Sapphire alone, but an equal balance of the two characters as one, showcasing who Garnet truly is and what she stands for in the series. The song is a perfect example of inner strength of these characters brought on by the unity of their love for one another. Everything from the lyrics, the choreography of the fight, and the tempo of the song are perfectly in sync with the actions on screen, making for one hell of a battle. Music can be powerful, but it also takes a lot of brains to be more memorable on this list, such as the case with number 3.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
Whenever I think of the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy, this song is the first thing that pops in my head. I've been a fan of Voltaire ever since the song aired on Cartoon Network, and to this day I still remember all the lyrics to both Brains and Land of the Dead. The song itself was definitely unique for the time, as it incorporated styles of dark wave, gothic cabaret, and rock into an otherworldly performance that follows an alien meteor falling from the sky and offering to be Billy's friend in exchange for all the brains in town. And just the sheer number of ways Voltaire can sing about eating brains should be enough to get anyone to listen to the song at least once. The music is perfectly well crafted throughout the segment, from the ominous violin opening to the accompanied upbeat tempo combined with Voltaire's incredible lyrical skills. The song is very theatrical in its execution, which, given the episode title being a parody of Little Shop of Horror, is no surprise there. The lyrics are catchy while also being comedic all throughout the montage, and even has a bit of a thriller vibe to it as well. What's more interesting about the song is the history behind it, which given the length of this video would make it too long to go over, so I'll leave a link to Voltaire's video explaining it in the description below. The song is a trip of nostalgia for me and reminds me of the days when Cartoon Network would air music videos in between commercial breaks to advertise their shows. Overall, the song is well orchestrated and the lyrics are memorable to this day. It definitely took a lot of brains to make this song and will always be stuck in my head like a catchy song. And speaking of which, here's number 2.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
So I've mentioned in the video that I'm not a fan of country music as well as boy bands, and the same could be said about love songs. They're cheesy, repetitive, and lack any originality to them. With all that said, I can't seem to find myself hating this song. Everything from the melody, the heartfelt lyrics, the emotional connection of the characters, and overall execution of the song makes it all the more memorable and enjoyable to watch. The way that it shows their love blossoming through the years feels so genuine and showcases how these two will stick by each other through thick and thin no matter what obstacles they come across. What makes me appreciate this song more is the story that it's a part of, with Bright Mac and Pale Butter being caught in the middle of a family feud between the apples and the pears, but instead of being part of it, they get along with one another and develop a relationship with each other despite the opposition of their families. The song highlights the challenges the couple faces on a daily basis and how they manage to get around it in secrecy and in public. This is definitely a catchy song in my book, and one of the more heartfelt ones in the show's history. With all that said, I think it's time for number 1.
You're in my head like a catchy song.
What can I say that hasn't already been said about this song? The episode the song is featured in is the one and only Band Geeks, and from the start it gives us a glimpse into Squidward's mindset of being unappreciated in his music by his community and even his old rival Squilliams. Wanting to prove himself as someone capable of succeeding, Squidward takes on Squilliam's offer of performing at the Bubble Bowl with a band, but it quickly falls apart on him. After seeing Squidward so heartbroken in his one and only chance to be appreciated, SpongeBob and the rest of the community come together to put on one spectacular performance not for them, but for Squidward, someone who has never shown any appreciation for them and always looks down on them. What follows is the most 80s rock ballad I've ever heard, called Sweet Victory by David Easley. The song not only presents a sense of unity within the show, but managed to solidify the episode as being among the very best of cartoons during the time. The song felt like a victorious conclusion to a journey for the characters and gave each one of them a part to play in the finale. This is by far the most triumphant moment of the show's history, as it not only brought the entire community of Bikini Bottom together, but gave Squidward his first ever moment in the spotlight. Now, I know what you're all thinking, this isn't an original song in the show and shouldn't count, but recall that the title of the video refers to 10 songs that are still remembered to this day. The song doesn't have to be an original or written by the series itself. It's more about the moment in time that the song captures the heart and soul of the series that fans still remember to this day. Each one of these songs plays an integral part in their respective series that demonstrates their unique styles, the different quirks of the characters, and how it fits into the narrative of the series as a whole. The song and the episode that it's a part of not only highlights the characters at their finest or the comedy being top-notch, but also showcase the charm and imagination of the show about a little yellow sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea. With all that said, I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on these musical moments in the comments below. Also, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more content in the future. I'm a reanimated corpse named Channel Hopper, and music is good for both the heart and the soul.